welcome back. We're back here at Thor's Academy once again, and we're still doing the rounds. I think he just spotted me. What do you want, sir? Anyway. Both the students and instructors seem so restless right now. Not that that comes as a surprise. Whether they stay at Thor's or go elsewhere, they'll have a brand new environment to adapt to. But new beginnings are part of the nature of spring, and that's not a bad thing. That seems exactly the same. Oh, but I guess that makes sense with spring just around the corner. Indeed. Is there anyone down here? Where's the map? Yes, there is. It'd be the janitor. Is it janitor? Yes. The flea market tomorrow is a joint project between the merchants of Trista and some volunteer first years. It's going to be quite the occasion. Sounds just about right for the last free day of the year, if you ask me. I'll be there to see it for sure. Tomorrow's flea market's going to be a sight to see. Going to be all the work that's... going by all the work that's gone into it. It's like, yeah, better stop on by. And then it'll be the end of Cold Steel, won't it? It's, well, Cold Steel 2 anyway. It's fast approaching. Fast approaching. Which feels weird to say, considering we haven't played it for ages. But, you know. I would have thought you'd be back in your dormitory by now to get everything in order for tomorrow. And now that you are here, however, there is one thing I would like to ask you. Our affairs are concealed over in Crossbell. You should know after your recent venture. Well, I can't say, I'm afraid. Didn't really get the chance to see what they were up to. Wish I could have, though. Maybe next time. Reasonable. I was just worried as to Risha Mao's well-being. Well... there have been rumors of late that the group's star performer has been gravely injured, is in the process of recovery. Oh. I've been worried that her absence may be placing additional stress on Risha. Forget I said anything. You wouldn't think he was such a devoted fan just looking at him. I wonder how he'd react if I told him that I think I actually ran into her and fought her too. Actually, I probably shouldn't tell him about the whole fighting thing. I can hardly believe it happened myself. Putting Risha Mao aside for now, do suggest that you try to return to your dormitory soon to get some rest for tomorrow. It'd be a terrible waste to spend your final free day of the year too tired to be productive. Indeed. The sunset's beautiful tonight, isn't it? The lino flowers have started blooming throughout town as well. I suppose you could say that they're getting ready to see everyone off as they take the next step in their lives. And no matter what you think the flowers are up to, try to make your last free day worthwhile, but stay out of harm's way. I'll try. The lino flowers have started blooming throughout town as well. I suppose you could say the same again, harm's way. There's one thing we can do, it's get in harm's way. Forgot about these flowers. It's a potted plant grown by Fee. Gives off a gentle, calming aroma. I had forgotten about them. Well, you've been back for 3 whole days now. People finally stopped hounding you with questions? Sounds like you hardly had a moment's peace at first. Well, everyone knew where I had been. The whole country knows. What with the Chronicle running those stories about me. Can't blame them for being curious. It's one of those things you'll probably just have to get used to. At least as long as you're a hero in the public eye. Don't think about it too much. Just be sure to make good use of tomorrow. Both for yourself and for those who no longer can. Thanks. I will. Alright, time to get back to work. I'm gonna get all this boring stuff done so I can hit the town tomorrow. Should probably get in touch with Toval and Mal to check on a few things too. I think it's wonderful that you've or resolve to do what's best for you. Rather than following the path life laid out for you, you're taking your lives into your own hands and forging new trails. Making it through the war has clearly had a positive effect on all of you. And I hope it would have had a positive effect on all the students. Now it's my turn to follow their lead. My family's been telling me that I have to settle down ever since the war ended. That unfortunately would mean quitting this job. I'm going to have to think about this one. Well, there's probably an answer to all of this, isn't there? There really is. Should be obvious what I'm looking for. There it is! Of course he has one. Woo, baby! Why, hello, Rean. How goes your studying? I'd be more than happy to help if you're having any sort of trouble. Thanks for the offer, but I think I'll be alright. I've got the Machias and Emma support system keeping me on the ball. If that offer extends to next year, though, I'm sure I'll be taking you up on it then. Oh, by all means. Nothing in this world makes me happier than lending a hand to the students in need. Oh, and by the way, pretty much finished decoding those black records you gave me. As much as it pains me, you can take them off my hands. You have. There's some fascinating stuff in there, if I do say so myself. Be sure to look them over if you have the time. Right. But can you believe the academic year is so close to its end? I'd just love to see it off with a big old party, wouldn't you? I think you're onto something. Pretty curious about this report he just gave me. I'll have to look it over when I get back to the dorm. It's so hard to get everyone together in one place now, though. Instructor Neidhart is always busy with his army duties, too. I would have just loved to ring out the school year with a big party, but perhaps it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know about that. Okay, so, I haven't seen you in ages, mate. If it isn't Rean Schwarzer. Allow me to give you my belated congratulations on your incredible work over in Crossbell. Though it does break my heart that such a heavy burden should fall to a student such as yourself. Don't feel bad, sir. I was the one who chose to accept the Crossbell government's request, after all. Besides, it wouldn't do me any good to run away from this. The role I've been given is difficult, but I'll see it through to the end. End up meeting some interesting people over there, too. I have no regrets. And I shall only say one more thing. I'm sure your days ahead will be full of hardship. Be sure not to lose sight of yourself as you face them. That is all the advice I can give you. Thank you, sir. General Van Dyke was my superior back when I was in the army. As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. Is something wrong, Schwarzer? No, sir, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Principal Van Dyke knew something. Now's not the time to start asking. When is the time? I'm sure that many hardships lie in store for you, but never lose sight of yourself as you struggle to overcome them. That's all the advice I can give. That's good advice, good advice. Right, so, assuming no one's in here, in the conference room. It's locked. Then we'll head outside. Uh-oh. Where in the world could my little sugar plum have disappeared to? Most men would be glued to the arm of a fiancé as delectable as I am. Vincent must be feeling shy. There's not much time until he graduates, though. I'll have to find him so we can spend his final hours at Thor's together. Oh my. Where could my noble escort be? With his graduation so close at hand, I'll have to track him down so we can close out his time at Thor's together. Let's look at the map, what we got. We got several scenes around. I want to see if we can go down to Trista, but it's sort of like... Let's start at the old schoolhouse and work our way around. I kind of want to leave, leave Toa for last is the best way of putting it, but it's like, not in a negative way. Like, no, but it's just sort of like, let's start at the old schoolhouse. Is there anyone or anything here? No, but doors are firmly shut. Nothing. Okay. Feels strange that there's nothing. The new seeds I planted have finally started to sprout. It'll be a while before we get to see any flowers, though. I was hoping I'd actually have the chance to raise these ones myself, but it wasn't meant to be. Aww. Just wish I could be here to see what kind of flowers they'd produce. Aww. And come back. Flowers inside of all of our hearts have seen better days. Mine and Fee's included. But that's nothing to worry about. I'm sure that spring's warm caress will thaw them out and return them to normal. Nee. Just enjoying this nice, peaceful music. Like, the problem is, like, it's so calming and nice and familiar, and it's like, I could just close my eyes and fall asleep. Like, oh, it's relaxing. Oh, it's you, Schwarzer. Is it true you're going to be helping the student council again tomorrow? I imagined one in your position would take the opportunity to rest, but I suppose that's just not your way. Yeah, for better or worse, that's just how I am. How are things back at home, by the way? I've heard things are still kind of chaotic over in the Sutherland province. So it seems. It's certainly keeping my father busy. Celestin will be returning home to help him, so I imagine he'll be able to stay on top of things, but... what is it to you how my family is faring? Don't you have enough to worry about as things stand? Well, I have no shortage of scores to settle with you, so I'd appreciate it if you got back to being your old self. Otherwise I'll simply end up speeding ahead of you before you know it come next month. Thanks, keep that in mind. My father should be able to stay on top of matters. What of Celestin returning home to help him? As you are well aware, I have no shortage of matters to clear up between us, so get back to being your old self already. Otherwise I'll simply end up speeding ahead of you before you know it come next month. I don't know, looks like I'm finally able to go toe-to-toe with Patrick. I guess I've got all of Bridget's support over the year to thank for that. These aren't my laurels to rest on. Good boyfriend aims high to make sure that he can always keep his girlfriend safe. I'll be able to fight Patrick on equal terms without Bridget there supporting me from the start. Can't deny that I'm going out with her has got me feeling pretty good. Practically bursting with confidence. Damn it, Alan. Control yourself. You can't say that kind of stuff out loud in the middle of club practice. Come on, mate. Instead of going home once I graduate, I plan on going on a little journey. I've weighed all of my options. This one stood well above the rest. Curious to see how far my swordsmanship can take me. So if nothing else, it should be a very interesting experiment. Decided to ask Loggins to join me as well, so let's see how he replies. Who? All that aside, both Alan and Patrick have improved significantly. I haven't yet decided who should be the next club captain, but maybe that doesn't need to be one to start. Having them compete on a regular basis, and transferring the captain title to whoever has the most wins might work too. That's one way of doing it. I was gonna say, is anyone here? It's like, as I press that, like, there's people here. It's like, yes. It's official. Did someone just jump in? Once Klein graduates, he's going into the Imperial Army. Like, I hear splashing and stuff. In fact, that's where he is right now, doing some sort of training program. I was hoping to pick his brain about some stuff, given that I'm the new captain of the swimming club. Oh well. What I should teach next year's batch of new recruits. I'm really going to have to think this one over. Guess lesson 1 would be getting them used to the swimming in a cold pool, since it's early spring and all. Am I ready cut out for this? Not half the man Klein is. Yeah, I can hear, like, them jumping in and stuff, but it's like, there's no one in there. It's weird. Having to race against Laura is a little panic-inducing, sure. I can't let that put me off of trying. I would get better if I never push myself. Since I've known Laura, she's been helping me grow. Can't let myself get complacent now, after all of the faith and time she's spent on me. Then let our race begin. I expect nothing short of your best. Of course. It's a true joy to see the strides Monica's made since she first started swimming. People are like water, always shifting, always churning, even when they look calm on the surface. No doubt, plenty is happening beneath the surface for her. Indeed. I suppose that's for everyone here, really. They've all grown, shifted, changed. Again, it's like, I'll press that to see who's up here. It's like, boom, you're there. Ah, they're gonna race. Better get snapping now. Now this is why the swimming club's the best club. Nothing but well-rounded photo opportunities one after another. Rest in peace, Rex the war photographer. We hardly knew ye. Just look at them. You can tell they've grown a lot over the past year. Gotta make sure my photos capture that just right. What do you mean they've grown, though? Is it just you? Yeah. I enrolled in this academy figuring it'd lead me straight into the Imperial Army. Anything I'm good at is being tough. always figured that it'd be the best way to pay the bills, I guess. But lately I've been wondering if that's really a good enough reason to join up. Pretty much ready to enlist, but do I really want to? Ever since I entered the academy, I figured I was on a beeline for the army. Now that I'm like a month away from graduation, I'm starting to second guess myself. Do I really want to do this? Think about it as much as you can. You still got time, mate. These are life decisions and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you really gotta think. Gotta think. I want to speak to the horse. I owe nearly as much to the riding club this year as I do to our class. My time at Thor's wouldn't have been nearly as interesting if I hadn't joined. Consider my lucky to have done so. I'm happy to hear that. Still, Rean, what I understand, my brother owes you a lot for what you've done during your stay in Crossbell. I wouldn't say that. While I was there, I saw the extent of his political skill over and over again, and well, I feel like I only now know just how much he's capable of. Both good ways and bad, I assume. Thought I knew him just like I thought I knew my father, but in the end, they were both strangers to me. Sorry, Eustace. And enough about me. Just wish he could have seen his duty as one of the Academy's directors through to the end of the year, that's all. This year has been a hectic one, that much is sure. Just wish my brother could have seen his position as an Academy director through to the end of it. I've been chosen as the next riding club captain. Can't help but feel like Eustace would be the right person for the job, though. Still, it's my responsibility now. I'm gonna do an even better job than he would. It's a lot of responsibility, but I'll prove that I was the right choice. Nobody will be better at this than me. I have my heart set on joining the Imperial Cavalry after graduation. We live in rapidly changing times, but that only makes it more important for me to chart Erebonia's path as both a noble and a soldier. Besides, that provides me an opportunity to put my Thor's education to good use. Lessons I learned from the Civil War, too. Why did I come to this conclusion, you ask? First, it was Eustace's influence, and that of a dearly departed fellow second year. Oh. I have my heart set on joining the Imperial Cavalry after graduation. Recognize that I'll be treading a dangerous path, but there's no need to worry. Not as long as I have Whitcomb by my side every step of the way. Yes, Whitcomb. Indeed, indeed. Is it down here, isn't it? Yep. Dum 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 dum. Oh, hello. Hugo, you wee bam. Hope you're ready for the flea market tomorrow. I'm gonna outsell you so hard you'll have no choice but to admit I'm better merchant. Becky. You're only now declaring war, you've already lost. Any merchant worth his salt would have known the battle started the moment the market was announced. Did I overestimate you again? Keep at it, mate. You'll need be laughing for long. Can't wait till we wipe that smug look off his face tomorrow. I think it's about time I prove something to her once and for all. That my knowledge of marketing theory is nearly perfect and approaches like her stand absolutely no chance against it. The auditorium is locked. Is it just you two? No one else. Male student. Still can't believe that they're actually keeping the Ashen Knight here at the Academy. Oh yeah, the Ashen Knight and its pilot are both seen as heroes. They ended the war after all. The entrance exams were crazy this year too. No one really wants to get in after everything that's happened. No doubt. You wouldn't want to go someplace where you might end up with your own knight. What kind of students manage to get in? Students. Now that the war's finally over, the continuations of stories I've been following are finally hitting the market, like Woo Baby Volume 2. Think I'll take this and this for now. Can't wait to spend tomorrow just relaxing and reading in here. Feels like the press have to work the famous Ashen Chevalier into everything lately. Kind of wild to have the talk of the country standing right in front of me. Especially as you don't really look like a celebrity. You seem like any other student to me. Well, I am. Nothing special. It's kind of wild to have a celebrity standing right in front of you. Especially as you don't really look like a celebrity, you just look like any other student to me. Who else is here? No one on that floor, okay. Let's go see Valimar first.
Oh.
Hey there, Rean.
Looks like someone's done with class for the day.
Yep, just got out. Wait, is that?
Yep, Angie's brand new bike.
We started building it for you, but then we had a change of heart. I just couldn't tear you away from your current ride after you'd grown so attached.
Now I feel bad, considering I pretty much did just that to you. Your new one's got a pretty cool design, though.
Don't get too jealous. Specs are pretty much the same as yours.
Yeah, but the colours.
Well, before Angie tunes it up and adds her custom gear for distance riding, that is.
But distance riding would mean... You're planning on going off on some big journey, aren't you?
10 points to Rean. I just felt like it was time for me to go out and see the world for myself.
As the second human Spectre.
My martial arts teacher did the same thing once, so I'm sure it'll be a valuable experience for me. The plan for now is to travel through the entirety of Zemuria.
That's not a very specific plan, and a pretty sizable journey.
You can say that again. I've no idea where she finds the energy.
Oh, really now? Your plan to visit the continent's most famous engineering factories is pretty much exactly the same thing.
You really think so?
I take it you'll be leaving Erebonia for a while too, George?
Seems that way. First stop's the Burl and ZCF. Always wanted to see it.
ZCF.
After that, I got my heart set on a trip to the Epstein Foundation over in Lemon State. While I'm at it, I think it'd be nice to pay a visit to the Vern Company in Calvert, too.
Will you even be able to get into Calvert at this point?
Hey, I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think I can pull some strings. The real reason for this trip is to figure out what I can do as an engineer to help smooth over our international relations. Meeting the continent's finest engineers and discussing things with them should really help get the ball rolling on that.
You've thought that far ahead. That's really admirable. I hope you can find a way to make that happen. Even though I feel kind of hypocritical saying that, as someone who participated in the war.
Don't beat yourself up over it, Rean.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was your only option, given the way the Chancellor set things up. Your actions actually helped us avoid an even longer, more brutal war.
But...
Angie's right. You played a role that no one else could have. Just think, if things kept going the way they were going, we could have been at war with all of Crossbell. I don't even want to imagine the number of lives that would have been lost if you hadn't stepped in the way you did.
Of course, us telling you whether or not you should feel guilty doesn't matter. It all comes down to you facing your own feelings over what you did. But there's one thing we'd like you to remember as you do. You're not alone, Rean. You've got friends who understand why you did what you did.
sometimes I wonder how I was lucky enough to get such good ones. Thanks, you guys. This really helps.
Don't mention it. On a completely different note, why don't you pay Valimar a visit while you're here? You spared no expense making sure he'd be nice and cozy in there.
I think I will. But not to discredit your coziness efforts or anything, but he seems fine no matter where I leave him.
Well, aren't you a sweet chevalier? Maybe I'll check in on him in a bit too.
Well, you know. This tour of mine's not going to be easy with the international climate the way it is, but I'm still excited to get started. Got to learn a ton. About technology, about how a nation's culture affects its people and its engineers. Can't wait. Just hope seeing all this stuff helps me figure out what I should be doing with my future too. I'm going to see Professor Schmidt before I head off. Seems busier than ever these days though. Which means he'll probably just tell me to get lost, but hey, at least I'll be able to say I tried. Yeah. You can imagine that my father wasn't exactly thrilled with my decision, but he gave in, eventually. Suppose I should be grateful for having such an understanding father, and such a hard head. No telling when I'll be back, but I guarantee that I'll be even more awe-inspiring than I am now. Oh, and the stories I'll have to tell. Got a ton to look forward to. As soon as the graduation ceremony is over, I'll hit the road. I am curious as to how things will go back home with the situation being what it is, but, well, I think it's best that I focus on my journey and nothing else. I'm gonna get one shot at this, right? Indeed. Valimar! The Ashen Knight.
Hey Valimar, how you holding up?
Relatively comfortably.
Relatively.
My ability to self-repair means that maintenance is not mandatory, but I expect it will increase my operating efficiency.
Glad to hear it. This is going to be our new home base for the time being, so you can get in as much maintenance as you need. I'm gonna need you a lot in the days ahead, Valimar.
I will strive to meet your expectations.
Thinking like Schwarzer Commander.
Something wrong?
I have a question for you. Does this unit have a soul?
Not as such. I thought I sensed something unusual, but it must have been my imagination.
Bet it's not.
You really are getting to be scarily human these days, you know? What was it you sensed, though? A person?
I am unsure. It may have simply been a fluctuation of the earth veins below us. Similar fluctuations are hardly abnormal.
Well, if you don't think it's anything worth worrying about, I'll try and put it out of my mind. If you sense anything strange in the future, though, let me know, okay? You can tell me... telepathically was the word, right?
Indeed. I shall use it to inform you should I sense anything is amiss.
Be at ease, Rean. I shall inform you of impending danger should anything be amiss. This is an ideal opportunity for you to rest and recover from your missions. Use it as you see fit. Time is a valuable thing which cannot be reversed. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, I'll try and take it easy. You needn't thank me. But I did. So there you go. Alright, so just one more building left if we can't go down to Trista, that is. I want to check on that first, though. Oh wait, I still need to go see Toa, don't I? Better go to the Student Union building. Alright, let's get the rounds done in there first. Hello, everyone. Oh, Monk. Gotta remember how to do the Monk voice. The radio filled me in on everything you're up to over in Crossbell. To think you used to need my help to get onto the radio. Nowadays, the radio follows you. That's very, very impressive. But just take care, okay? The radio filled me in on everything you were up to over in Crossbell. Do me a favor and look after yourself, will you? You promise? I think that was the Rean voice I was doing? The Monk voice? Something like that. The hangar's in use already from what I hear, not much, but it's a start. Probably be used way more in the future, though. Might even end up with sold-out related classes thanks to it. Kinda makes me feel like I'm graduating too soon. Can't say I don't know how you feel. But I think we should just believe in the first years now. We've grown a lot since the first day. They'll be fine. I suppose that's true. It's hard to believe tomorrow will be our final free day here at this academy. Maybe I should show my face in the salon at some point. Try not to end it with any regrets, okay? The Imperial Army will be establishing a major new air fleet soon, you know? So Emily and I are going to sign up. I can imagine how well Father took the news, but I managed to talk him around to the idea. Emily's already fired up at the thought of being an officer like Captain Claire one day. Emily and I are planning on joining the Imperial Army's new air fleet after graduation. It's a tad nerve-wracking, to be sure. But I'll have Emily with me. I know everything's going to work out fine. Oh yeah, I'll be passing the second-year training regimen down to you tomorrow. It's crazy hard, but you're ready for it, aren't you? Give me a hell yeah! Hell, of course. Ferris has been working real hard to take up the role of captain now that we're leaving. Might hit a rough patch or two along the way, but it's good to know I can graduate worry-free now. Tomorrow's going to be Emily and Theresia's final day as members of the lacrosse club, which means it's one of the last days we'll get to spend with them. Better make the most of it. Don't have much time left to spend with Emily and Theresia, which means we'll have to wring every last drop of fun out of it that we can. I have been appointed the new captain of the Academy's lacrosse club. So when my name is a Floral, I will do a stellar job in fulfilling the numerous duties that come with the title. Perhaps bringing my rivalry with Elisa to its conclusion by the end of the month will take precedent for now. Moving on to the next issue. What should be done about inviting new members to the club next month? She's really thinking ahead, isn't she? It's hard to believe the second years only have a couple of weeks left here now. Just remember the day they enrolled here like it was yesterday. I think I'll treat them to something nice tomorrow. Fair enough. Doom, doom, doom. What's with the sour face? Come along, eat up. What you need is to down a warm meal. There's nothing like a full stomach to bring a smile to your face. Bum, 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 bum. Well, you should have. There you go. Crossbell's congratulations on Crossbell's annexation. Jeez. Hey there, oh, sorry, wrong guy, huh? Sorry about that. Just so used to him coming here to mess around every day that I thought you were him. Just can't believe he's gone. Don't know if I'll ever be able to. Triple dot. It's like he's just gonna wander back in here like nothing ever happened, you know? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You feeling any better now? I mean, endless ocean of work aside? Honestly, work's not all that bad. It's kinda nice to get back to a mundane life after so long away. I think my time in Crossbell helped me realize what's important to me. Like spending time with everyone here. If you say so. Just don't forget to rest up. Knowing you, you'll be busy again soon enough. Make sure to get some rest. You'll be busy again soon enough, probably tomorrow. Sitting in the club room as the sun sets, reading and writing with Dorothy. I really love times like these. I didn't realize just how much until recently, truth be told. Kind of sad to think that, come next month, this will all be a memory. It's only now that I realize how much I've come to love the literature club. Even if I spent most of my time evading Dorothy's attempts to turn me on to her favorite genre, I'll really miss it. I actually was a little lost about what to do once I graduate, but my heart's finally set on becoming a writer. That's why I've been submitting my work to every literary magazine I can find. Literature is an important part of our culture, so I don't want a war to ever make us lose sight of that. If I can do that for a profession I love, well, all the better. I'm submitting my work to all sorts of different literary magazines, hoping to become a published author. Shockingly, none of them have been terribly keen on my work so far. I wonder why. None of that worries me. You know what they say, the best cure for a downtrodden heart is beautiful romance between the purest of boys. My. Ooh, baby. Oh yeah, my brother finally got back from Crossbell. Did he now? He just showed up out of nowhere back home. It's a big deal though, given how long he's been out of touch. Without fishing, missed the whole thing. Seems like there's been a change in the ecology of fishing spots all over Erebonia in the past few months. Which is a fancy way of saying my old fishing strategies don't work anymore and I've gotta think up new ones. At least that's fun to do. I suppose. It's scary just how fast the time is gone. Sorry that I couldn't accept your request though. Oh, don't worry about it. By the sound of it, there'll be only one chess club next year anyway. Both for prone and lower class students to use. Live your life how you want to. Couldn't ask for anything else. Thank you. I believe Macias and I have known each other for an entire year now. Time really flies. All the late nights we spent together battling it out over a chessboard. Just the thoughts making me all emotional. Come on, there's nothing to cry about. We're lucky to have been students here. Not only did we get Great classmates. Got great second years too. And yes, I'm including Crow. Indeed. Is she here? Appears to be an unused room. Huh? This was the Occult Research Society's room. Can't see any sign of Beryl either. Maybe the club's been closed? See there, it's like, it's so weird. Rex and I sent in some of our war photos to the Imperial Chronicle, and they really loved them. We even received special recognition during the last Pulitzer Prize ceremony. And that in turn led a man named Norton to offer me a job at the Chronicle, which I graciously accepted, and used that position to spread the truth to as many people as possible. Busy looking at the photos. Rex and I received special recognition during the last Pulitzer Prize ceremony for the photos we sent in. Chronicle even extended me a job offer, so that's where I'll be after I graduate. Rex, on the other hand, still hasn't expanded his photographic interest beyond girls. Why did I leave the future of the club in his hands? Because the only other member? Just wondering, like, is there any of these locations? It just seems to be all the school, doesn't it? Or Trista. And the station. Like, I don't spot anything that could be like Crossbell or anything like that. Just anything different. Don't think so. Right, so I think we're done with the rounds now, so the next step is to speak to Toe, but we will be doing that in the next part. Ta-ta for now.